Hey y'all, it's your girl Nana and Nay, and today we're gonna touch base on Monique on Club Shay. Now before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for all the support that you've been showing me so far. Now this is a crazy podcast. Club Shay has been bringing the best comedians on his show so far, and one of the best, I have to say, is Monique. Now Monique is just a young black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, and she said that she dreamed of being a superstar one day, and that's exactly what happened. I love Monique. I think she's beautiful and talented, and I'm excited to get into this. The one topic that I wanted to talk about was Monique versus Oprah. And I use the term versus very loosely because I feel like this is a one-sided fight. On Club Shay, Monique subtly described what their beef was about and how it started in the first place. Take a look at this.
You got other people in the club, right? When Oprah Winfrey called me up and she said, I got a call from your brother. And this is after I won the Oscar award, right? And your brother wants to come on the show and he wants to apologize to you for molesting you. And he wants to tell other people how to look out for a predator.
Right.
I said, Oprah, I said, I don't want anything to do with that cat. I said, and then she said, well, if you want me to scratch the show, I will scratch it. I said, sis, don't scratch it because he could be a different person. And I don't want to get in the way if that cat is a different person. I just don't want no parts of it.
Right.
Okay? When I hung up that phone, Shannon, I was like, I appreciate that sister. Like, she didn't have to call me.
She didn't?
She didn't have to call me and say, I'm going to have your brother.
Right.
I start seeing commercials with my mother and my father and my other brother who used to be my manager, who knew the fear that I had with the brother that was up on stage, right? We never talked about my mother being there.
She never told you that.
You know how you feel about your grandparents?
Yes, absolutely.
You know the honor and how you speak about them? Imagine you then seeing your granddaddy and your grandmama on a show, and they're talking about somebody that violated you, and that woman didn't tell you that they were going to be there. How would you feel?
I would feel like you felt betrayed.
That is exactly how I felt and how I feel. And it's not, no, I understand it. But you betrayed me, sister.
Now, if you guys don't know, Monique has never, ever had a good relationship with her parents or her grandparents. I feel like Oprah inviting her family on the show after her Oscar win was just a spit in the face. I mean, what reason do you have to deteriorate her joy by bringing on her molester? Now, if you guys don't know, her brother did violate her when she was a kid. And to bring her brother on the show and show it all over national television and her family talking bad about her, it was just the most horrible thing you can do. You know, I can never understand why somebody would do that to somebody else. You know, clearly Oprah has a vendetta against Monique. It's very clear, and I can see why Monique is not messing with her to this day. I don't blame her. It's really horrible what she did right after she won an Oscar. And I also wanted to show you guys another video of Monique talking about more of the behind-the-scenes cattiness that I feel like nobody really touched on. Take a look at this.
In the audience. And I say this humbly, as my husband was telling me. He said, Mama, they wasn't screaming Oprah. They was screaming Monique. Right?
Right.
So much so, I had to say, y'all gonna shut that shit up now. We get ready to go back on the air. We having fun, right? He said, but I watched Oprah. He said, and I watched her almost turn in her seat like they screaming her name. Now, some people will say, oh, Monique, you're reaching. Well, let me tell you what then happens. The movie The Butler, that movie was offered to me. Lee Daniels came out and said, I did offer Monique the Butler. But as he said to me, he said, Mo, at the time I didn't have no power and I didn't have no money. So when Oprah said she wanted it, so who played the lead role in The Butler? Oprah Winfrey. Lee Daniels was getting ready to do a biopic on Richard Pryor. and he offered me the grandmother. Who then calls Lee Daniels and says, I want to be the grandmother. So as you're looking at me, it's the same way I'm looking at that sister. And I'm saying, why don't we sit down and have a conversation? Because the way things could look, it may not be that way, but just the way things look, Oprah. Just the way you would have my family on your show, Oprah.
One might say, Mo, well, I mean, if they're looking for a black,
Big, go ahead and say it. Shannon is so careful with his words. He want to say fat black woman. If the role looking for a fat black woman, Mo, but he was like, you know.
But I want to keep my podcast, Mo. Y'all ain't finna cancel me.
This why we love you, Uncle Shay, because we want you to say it, a fat black woman. Now, me and Oprah fit the damn description, Shay.
Now, basically what she was saying was that amidst the fake beef that Oprah had with Monique, the one-sided beef, Oprah would contact Lee Daniels in parts that Monique was offered to take those then parts. I don't know if you guys remember The Butler. The Butler was actually a groundbreaking movie in history. It was about a butler who spent 3 decades working as a butler for the president of the United States in the White House. And he basically was able to witness everything that went down historically in the White House. And just think about how much of a major role this would have been for Monique. It's really disappointing. And it's basically Oprah taking money out of Monique's hands. It's like, now can you understand the beef? Because that's just horrible. And then if you can hear her also say that Oprah knew that she was offered these roles and wanted the roles that Monique was offered. I'm just so tired of looking at her wrinkly face. I'm sorry, God forgive me. Now, Monique also said that she was offered a part in a new Richard Pryor movie as the grandmother, and as you can see in this picture, oh, that's cute. Who got the part as the grandmother in the Richard Pryor movie? Oh, okay, that's very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I don't think they came out with this movie yet, but wow. Now that we know that Oprah is a phony, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, how do you guys feel about this? I mean, the girl was on the list. And if you know what I'm talking about, the list, yeah, she was on that. So she's one of those people who are major house ends of the industry, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know, okay? She's very lapdoggish to these white men in the industry. Nothing against white people. You guys know I love everybody. But, she's one of those elites in the industry who don't care about anybody but herself. And let's be honest, Oprah has already been exposed by big names in the industry. And, it's funny that Monique mentions people with money, people with power. She bought these roles. She paid for these roles, okay? And when I say paid for these roles, I mean flashing her money. Oh, look what I can offer. Look what I can do for this movie. We can upgrade it because I'm Oprah Winfrey. My girl's over here beefing with a comedian. Baby girl, when's the last time you told a joke? I'm really confused of the envy here. Honestly, y'all, I'm done with her. I just wanted to touch base on this topic because I don't feel like anybody was really explaining the beef between Oprah and Monique, And, shout out to Club Shay for giving Monique a platform to tell her truth and to speak on what really needs to be spoken on. Everybody's talking about the movie, the Lee Daniels, the Tyler Perry, her not traveling for Precious to do the international promoting, but no one really talks about the real issue that her and Oprah as two black women had. So, I just had to touch base on that, and I'm thankful that you guys sat here and talked about this with me. I hope that you were able to learn a lot just like I was. Shout out to Club Shay again. And of course, shout out to the beautiful and talented Monique. I love her. I'm a skinny girl myself, and she loved them skinny girl jokes, which I used to also find hilarious. It's all fair and game. I love her so much. She's talented. She's amazing. And baby, if they ain't hating, you ain't doing something right. So God bless her in all her endeavors, and God bless her husband for always standing behind her in these times of need. Now, you guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for sticking this out with me. My name is Nana Anae again, and have a good one.